Hello students, in today's lecture we will learn circular motion theory part. In today's lecture we will cover first is concept of circular motion, second is terms related to circular motion, third dynamics of circular motion, and fourth forces in circular motion, and fifth motion of vehicle on a level circular road, and sixth is bending of cyclist, and seven banking of a curved road. Eighth is motion of cyclist in a death well. 9 is motion along a vertical circle. And last summary. So these topics we will cover in today's lecture and we will learn each one by one. Disclaimer. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So, topic is circular motion. Concept of circular motion. A circular motion is a two-dimension motion. It is a two-dimension motion, or we can say it is having in a plane. To bring circular motion in a body, it must be given some initial velocity and a force. Clear? So we can say for a circular motion there is some condition. First is some initial velocity and some force should be happen. So circular motion can be classified into two types: uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion. Clear? When an object moves in a circular path at a constant speed, then the motion is said to be a uniform circular motion. Clear? Circular path at constant speed, then we can say this is a uniform circular motion. Clear? So next is, what is non-uniform circular motion? Non-uniform circular motion, when an object moves in a circular path with variable speed, then the motion is said to be non-uniform circular motion. Clear? The main difference is here the speed is a constant in uniform circular motion, but in non-uniform circular motion speed is variable, means changes with time, but in uniform circular motion speed is constant, means time it is not changes with time. Clear? So this is the main difference between the circular uniform motion and non-uniform circular motion. Clear? Next is terms related to circular motion. Clear? So first term is angular displacement. Angular displacement. We already discussed displacement in previous lecture. Displacement depends on initial and final position. It does not depends on path. So it is defined as the angle turned by the particle from some reference line. Angular displacement delta theta is usually measured in radians. Means radians is the unit of measuring angular displacement. Clear? Second term is angular velocity. Angular velocity. So it is defined as the rate of change of angular displacement of the body, called angular velocity. Clear? So from this figure, a particle moving on a circular track. This is a circular track. This particle is moving in this circular track, this one. Clear? This is a circular track of radius r, showing angular displacement delta theta in delta t. Clear? And in this time period, it covers a distance delta s along the circular track. So angular velocity, which is omega, is equal to limit delta t approaches 0, delta theta divided by delta t, which is equal to d theta divided by dt. In this diagram, here this is radius r1 and this is radius r2. A particle here at position A, when it moves along this circular track and cover this path, this one. Clear? And then we can say delta s is the distance. Clear? It is an axial vector whose direction is given by right hand rule and its unit is radian per second. Clear? So this is the terms related to circular motion. Third term is angular acceleration. Angular acceleration, it is the rate of change of angular velocity. Clear? Angular acceleration is the rate of change of angular velocity. So alpha is the angular acceleration, which is equal to d omega divided by dt is equal to d square theta divided by dt square, and it is measured in unit is radian per second square. Clear? So here we learn three important terms. First is angular displacement, second is angular velocity, and third is angular acceleration. Clear? So these are the important terms. Next is dynamics of uniform circular motion. Clear? So if a particle is performing circular motion with a uniform speed, then the motion of the particle is called uniform circular motion. We already learned in first slide. Clear? Means when a particle performing circular motion, or we can say uniform circular motion, then speed is constant. But in the case of non-uniform circular motion, the speed is variable of that particle. Clear? So in such a case, dv upon dt is equal to 0. So AC is equal to omega square r, where v is equal to r omega. So put here the value of omega. After putting the value of omega in this equation, AC is equal to omega square r, you will get v square by r. So we can say AC is equal to v square by r. So this is the formula. Clear? Thus, if a particle moves in a circle of radius r with uniform speed v, then its acceleration is v square by r. Clear? This is the acceleration when particle moves in uniform speed towards the center. This one. Towards the center. This is the center, and towards the center, like this. This one. Clear? So this acceleration is termed as centripetal acceleration. Clear? Whereas in non-uniform circular motion, resultant acceleration of a body A is equal to under root AR square plus AT square, which is equal to under root V square by R square plus R square alpha square. Clear? Where AT is equal to dB upon dt. Clear? This is the radial acceleration and this is the tangential acceleration. Clear? So important points here is this: when we talk about the uniform circular motion, then speed of that particle is constant, or we can say never changed. But if we talk about the non-uniform circular motion. So in that case, speed is variable. Clear? Speed is variable. So in case of uniform circular motion, the acceleration is AC is equal to omega square by r. And in case of variable, when the speed is variable, means non-uniform circular motion, the acceleration A equal to is the under root A square r plus A square t, which is where 8r is the radial acceleration and 8 is the tangential acceleration. Clear? So this is the formula of acceleration in case of non-uniform circular motion. Clear? So at is equal to dv upon dt, where at is the tangential acceleration. Clear? So this is the tangent on a circle. That's why here we call tangential acceleration, and this is the acceleration acted towards the center. That's why we call radial acceleration. Clear? So this is acceleration in case of non-uniform circular motion. Clear? So this is the dynamics of circular motion. Clear? Next is forces in a circular motion. In a circular motion of an object, two kinds of forces occur, which are described below. First force is centripetal force, and second force is centrifugal force. Clear? First is centripetal and second is centrifugal. So centripetal force is the force is required to move a body along a circular path with a constant speed. Clear? So the direction of the centripetal force is along the radius acting towards the center of the circle on which the given body is moving. Centripetal force F equal to mv square by r is equal to mr omega square, which is equal to mr 4 pi square v square, which is equal to mr 4 pi square divided by t square, where v is equal to r omega. This one. Clear? This one. So work done by the centripetal force is always zero, as it is perpendicular to velocity and hence instantaneous displacement. Clear? So this is the concept of centripetal force. Whereas centrifugal force can be defined as the radially directed outward force acting on a body in a circular motion, as observed by a person moving with a body. Mathematically, centrifugal force, which is equal to mv square divided by r, is equal to mr omega square. Clear? This one. So here we learn two types of forces. First is centripetal forces and second is centrifugal forces. Clear? So next is motion of a vehicle on a level circular road. So when a vehicle moves on a circular path, it requires a centripetal force. Clear? Note down. When a vehicle moves on a circular path, this is like a circular path. This one, like a circular path. When a car is moving on a circular path, then it requires a centripetal force. In such cases, the lateral force of friction may provided the required centripetal force, like this. Here this is the friction. The weight of the car is mg, which is acted vertically downward, and this is normal. Thus, for maintaining its circular path, required centripetal force, which is mv square by r, is less than equal to frictional force, which is mu mg. This is the frictional force mu mg, where mu is the coefficient of the friction. And maximum speed V maximum is equal to under root mu rg. Clear? Under root mu rg. This is the maximum speed. So where mu is equal to coefficient of friction between road and vehicle tires. This is road and this is the vehicle tire. So mu is the coefficient of friction between the road and vehicle tires, and r is the radius of the circular path. Clear? R is the radius of the circular path. So this is the motion of a vehicle on a level circular road. Next is bending of a cyclist. Bending of a cyclist means when a cyclist goes around round turns in a circular track, then the angle made by cyclist with vertical level is given by this one, tan theta is equal to v square by rg, where tan theta equal to v square by rg, so theta is equal to tan inverse v square by rg. Clear? So this is a cyclist goes round turns like this, weight is acted vertically downward mg, and this is n sin theta and cos theta, this is acting normal. Clear? So this is the bending of a cyclist. And banking of a curved road. So for a safe journey of a vehicle on a curved circular road without any risk of skidding, the road is slightly raised towards its outer end. Let the road be banked at an angle theta like this. This road is banked at angle theta. This is the angle theta from the horizontal as shown in the figure. So tan theta equal to v square by rg. Clear? So when we resolve the all components of, this is the weight mg which is acting vertically downward, and this is r, its components r sin theta and r cos theta. Clear? So in case of friction it present between the road and tire, the maximum speed Vmax is equal to under root Rg mu s plus tan theta divided by 1 minus mu s tan theta, where mu is the coefficient of static friction. Clear? Mu is the coefficient of static friction. So this is the concept of banking of a curved road. Next is motion of a cyclist in a death well. For equilibrium of cyclist in a death well, the normal reaction and provides the like this, okay, centripetal force needed, and the force of friction balances his weight mg. This one, this move in this, in that well like this. Clear? This. So n equal to mv square by r. So f equal to mu n, where mu is the coefficient of friction, n is the normal which is equal to mg. So maximum speed v is equal to under root rg by mu. Clear? Maximum speed is under root rg divided by mu. Next is motion along a vertical circle. So in non-uniform circular motion, speed of object decreases due to effect of gravity as the object goes from its lowest position A to highest position B. Like this is the lowest position A and this is the highest position B. At the lowest position point A, this is the tension TL, this one, and weight mg vertically downward are mutually opposite direction, and their resultant provides the necessary centripetal force. Clear? Tension and weight both are vertically downward. So using this concept, TL minus mg is equal to mv square L divided by R, or we can say TL is equal to mg plus mv square by L divided by R. So at the highest point B, here this is the highest point, tension TH and the weight mg, this one, are in the same direction, and hence TH plus mg is equal to mv square H divided by R. So solving this term, you will be get TH is equal to mv square H divided by R minus mg. So remember that here tension and weight direction both are opposite, but here having in same direction. That's why here the sign is minus and here is plus. VL means VL is the tension and H is the here H height, highest point. Clear? So moreover, VL and VH are correlated as a V square H is equal to V square L is equal minus 2GR. This relation. Clear? This one. Next is motion along a vertical circle. So in general, if the revolving particle at any instant time is at position C inclined at an angle theta from the vertical, then V square equal to VL square minus 2GR under 1 minus cos theta. So T equal to mg cos theta plus mv square by r. So in vertical condition, just looping the vertical loop, when the tension just becomes 0 at the highest point B here, we obtain the following results, and that results TH is equal to 0, where here tension is 0, TL equal to 6 mg and VL is equal to under root 5 rg. In general, TL minus TH is equal to 6 mg. So this is the final equation. When a vehicle is moving over a convex bridge, the maximum velocity V equal to under root rg, where r is the radius of the road. Clear? Next is when the vehicle is at the maximum height, here like this is the maximum height, the reaction of the road is n1, which is equal to mg minus mv square by r. And when the vehicle is moving at dip here, then n2 is equal to mg plus mv square by r. Clear? So this is n1 and this is n2. Clear? Next summary. So we covered first is terms related to circular motion, key definitions and terminology associated with circular motion, including angular displacement, period and frequency. Second is angular velocity, the rate of change of angular displacement, describing how fast an object rotates around a center. Third is angular acceleration, the rate of change of angular velocity, indicating how quickly an object speeds up or slows down in its rotation. And next, force in circular motion, analysis of the forces that acts on an object in a circular motion, including centripetal force that keeps the object moving in a circle, and centripetal force, the inward force required to keep an object moving in a circular path. Next is centrifugal force, a perceived outward force experienced by an object in rotating reference frame acting away from the center of rotation. So these are the important terms we learned in today's lecture. Clear? Next is important applications of centripetal and centrifugal forces, practical examples of these forces in real world scenarios such as vehicle taking turns or objects in circular motion, and motion of a vehicle on a level circular road, analysis of the dynamics and forces acting on a vehicle moving in a circular path on a constant speed. Clear? So these are the important terms we learned in today's lecture. Clear? Next is bending of cyclist, the technique used by the cyclist to maintain balance and control while turning at speed of a circular path, and banking of a curved road, the design of roads at an angle to reduce the reliance of friction and enhance vehicle stability during turns. Clear? So this is the important terms. Clear? Thank you.